And we are live. All right. So, welcome everybody. I am really excited to have Megan here today. You guys have seen her before, but we're actually not here to talk about what you've seen her before on the channel. Megan has a brand new curriculum that she's just launched. It is one of the best things that I have ever seen. And I told her she had to get on the channel and share it with us. So, welcome, Megan. Um, do you want to just jump into it here?
Sure. Yeah, we can just get right into it. So yeah, I'm super excited. I have been making curriculum for a long time, and of course, teaching online, and um, have lots of students, and have gone through lots and lots of different curriculums and used lots of different things, and always found that I was still needing to make my own lessons and still needing to edit and tweak and adjust lessons, particularly when I started teaching two students who were brand new, zero English. And I really needed something that was more engaging for the younger brother in particular, because he was a bit of a pain, to put it mildly. And he needed to be able to click things and do things, and he needed lots and lots of pictures and lots of stuff. So I I started modifying lessons and adding lessons and building lessons, and then I've completely put together Florentis Learning. So these are lessons. I'm super proud of them. I'm super excited about them. I've been using them with my students, and they are tons of fun. And my students love them. And a few teachers have started using them, and they're really enjoying them as well. And so ultimately, I wanted something to be available that had everything I needed, but also everything other people needed. I didn't want to spend hours piecing together the perfect lesson for each student. I wanted to have everything at my fingertips, and that included things like conversation lessons and actual general ESL lessons and writing lessons and sort of a little bit of everything. And I wanted my students to be um, actually engaged and enjoying the lessons that they were taking, even when they maybe aren't in such an engaging platform. So I often teach in Koala Go. It's great. The kids can click and it's interactive. But I also teach some of my lessons in Voov or in Zoom, and this works well for them as well. So, what it is there are currently more than 300 lessons available. I have a complete classroom curriculum from pre-A1 to B1 levels with some B2. And I have a set of conversation lessons with beginner and elementary and intermediate lessons. And then the first writing unit, of course, is there for my pre-A1 to A1 students. More to come on that soon. And then these lessons are all very, very interactive. So you'll see there the picture of the monster. That monster you pick up, you drag him along as you read the words. And that is actually out of one of the level 1 clothing lessons. So they are clothing related words. You read the words, the monster eats them. It's lots of fun. The kids think it's great. Sometimes we have to restart the screen because they've eaten all the words before we read them. But that's one of the hazards. And then one of the other things that I've really made an effort to do is to ensure the lessons are preparing students for Cambridge English exams. So a number of my students take exams. They often will struggle with the listening activities and the reading activities of, which is people are like, what do you mean? We read every day in class. But it's not the reading, it's the reading questions and activities that come as a result of that. And sometimes parents don't even tell you that their students are going to be taking an English exam, and you just find out afterwards when they didn't maybe do quite as well as you would have liked to have seen them do, mostly because they didn't have any prep. And then I have a blog with tons and tons of free resources, but I also have been putting together a bunch of cool interactive games that teachers can use to fill in the time that they can easily access from the site. So this is sort of the what's there now type of thing. And it is for independent online ESL teachers. So it's for teachers who are like me, who are teaching independently, working with their own students. It's also for teachers who want to use lessons in small groups, or for homeschoolers, parents who are really looking for structured lessons at home and things that are interactive, or even for schools or private ESL companies who need structured, leveled curriculum that is easy to use and ready to go. So ultimately, the goal is no more planning stress. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to worry about it. I just open and I teach. And my students are engaged. My students are preparing for Cambridge English exams if they so choose. It works for all levels and it's affordable. And I'm going to show everyone what it looks like in just a second. I have a few more sneak peek here of a couple of screens. But it is, there's tons and tons of topics, and the units are smaller. So they're not necessarily, some of them, they're the number of lessons they need to be. So some have 10 lessons, some have 8 lessons, some have 5 lessons. Instead of extending out a topic to say, oh, I have to spend 10 lessons talking about this because every unit's going to be 10 lessons, I'm not. I'm teaching the number of lessons that make sense for the topic, for the level, for the students, so that we don't get bored. And I have a full scope and sequence. It's very comprehensive. As I said, I've been very conscientious of ensuring that everything aligns. It's aligned with the science of reading for phonics. It's aligned with Cambridge English levels and English prep. It's interactive, it's visual, it's got built-in feedback, built-in games. And then of course, I don't have to run and make extra conversation lessons because there are conversation lessons, as well as having the speaking and the listening and the reading and the spelling and the writing all built into the lessons right from the get-go. And so I think before I talk about free pack, I think I'm going to switch screens here and let's look at it. So let's see what it's all about. Just this.
And by the way, I have already seen this. I'll ask some questions probably just to like guide like things that I know that you guys want to know, but I've already seen this and it is really, 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 really good. And there's a free version too. So if you're not ready to invest, Florentis has a free version that you can just like start teaching with and just get a couple of students with before you invest anything.
So this is my website, florentislearning.ca, and I've already logged into the site. So once you log in, you get a different menu. So you'll see that we've got all of our courses. There's a placement assessment. There's the general ESL core curriculum, the speaking curriculum, and I need to add a tab for writing. But you can get to it by going to courses. So when you go into your courses, you will see that we have all of the levels available. While we wait for my computer. There it goes. Okay, so we have levels 1 through 6 available. And then here's that free sample pack. If you're interested in the free pack, simply go to the courses tab, click on free, and then click enroll now. And it'll.
What is the when you say levels 1 through 6, how are these numbers attached to the levels? What does that mean?
Level 1 is pre-A1 and strictly pre-A1. Level 2 is pre-A1 approaching A1. So if we're looking at SEFR levels, that would be how they align. Level 3 is A1. And level 4 is A1, some A2 towards the end. 5 is definitely A2, and 6 is getting into B1. And then there are some lessons coming that are a little bit more B2 level as well. So you can filter, like if you want to find the A1 lessons, you can certainly filter using the tags on the side, and it will help you find those. And then you'll notice that there's also the elementary lessons, which are speaking lessons, which are also A1 lessons. And so we have all of the lessons. Let's go back to order by course. Let's go order by course. All right. All of the lessons in the general core English curriculum, levels 1 through 6. Then we have 3 sets of speaking lessons. So beginner, elementary, and intermediate. Beginner would be your pre-A1. Elementary is your A1, and intermediate is more of a A2 to B1. Probably B2 is better. B1 is better. When you look at the speaking lessons, you'll find there's oodles of topics there, and I do add more because I actively teach speaking classes. So I do have to continuously add to that to support my own speaking lessons. I actually had a teacher who has started using the curriculum the other day, and she's going to be teaching an 8-week summer speaking camp with a small group. And so she had sort of decided her topics, and the parent asked actually for it to be aligned with, I think it was Power Up. Anyway, one of those big name curriculum brands, sort of that level. And so she looked at the topics, and then she came to me and she said, these are the topics. And I said, great. I said, I would use this lesson, this lesson, this lesson, this lesson. And between the beginner and the elementary classes, she was able to identify exactly which speaking lessons she needed for her 8-week speaking camp that she's doing this summer. So she's all set, no prep, it's ready to go. And so you don't have to use them. I've grouped them by skill, but you can use them sort of however you need them. If you need an extra lesson at the end of a unit for extra practice, for instance, grab a speaking lesson. There's probably one on the topic. And if there isn't, send me a note. Maybe it's one that I could build because I need another idea for a speaking class that I have to teach anyway. And then there is the placement assessments. Right now I have the general English placement up, but the writing placement will be up probably today, actually. It's close. And then the writing for beginners as well, with the writing lessons if you want to teach pure writing classes. So this is what's in there, awesome. But that's not really the exciting part. This is sort of the what you can see when you come to the website part. So let's jump into something that is exciting, which is actually looking at some lessons.
Yes, that is exciting. They're so good, you guys.
So when you come in, and even before you're logged in, you'll be able to see all of this. You can see all of the topics that are in the unit. If you want to expand one, you can see what the lesson titles are as well. So you can see what's in here before you ever get into the session. And if we're going to start.
Hi. I'm home.
And so it's going to, so this is the, I think I'm in a toys lesson actually, because that's what I was teaching. So you'll notice right away, they're very visual. They have the option to add the student's name, your name. That is important, especially if you're doing the last lesson, or if you're going to use the built-in feedback. You want to make sure you put those names in. So let's take a look at maybe one of the clothing lessons, because my current student thinks it's hilarious. I need one with the sort of naked person. I'll show you. It's very fun. My student thinks it's great. So as I said, you need to put in your name and hit start. And if you're teaching on a co-browser, then something like this, the student can drag. So how are you today? I am happy. And you'll notice a couple of things happening. So one, we have these 5 stars across the top. These are your rewards, so you can click on them, and they have sound effects and all of those fun things. And we also have this button over here, which will take you to a tic-tac-toe board. So this doesn't look very exciting, but if I'm like, oh, shoes, boots, hat, coat, t-shirt, pants, bag, dress, and skirt. All of a sudden,
oh, you can do that. You can put in your own
words in. So maybe your student is interested, maybe they're struggling with CVC words, and you want to do a mix of vocabulary, maybe there's specific words that they're struggling with and you want to focus on those, this template is available in every single lesson. And you can then drag and put your buttons on, right, once they say the word. But there is, of course, a little bit of instructions telling you to type your words in. And if I go back, this little arrow takes me back to exactly where we left from. So you can jump to it at any point in time in the lesson, play a quick game, and come back.
And how do you get to
you just go to the button and you choose Tic-Tac-Toe. And it remembers it. So it remembers it until you go to a new lesson. But if you
so you could go through and use that kind of as a built-in reward system where you have like, okay, now we can each pick a word and then go back to the lesson. That's really cool.
Yes. So you can use it throughout the lesson. You could use it at the end of the lesson. You can use it in the middle of the lesson. You can use it sort of whenever you need to. Now, at the bottom, there is this button. So we don't have to look at all this stuff around. We can make our lesson full screen. So that's much more interesting and engaging for the student. This is one of the level 1 lessons. So you'll notice it's fairly simple. We have a nice clean picture. We've got the words. We're going to practice the word a few times. This one is socks and shoes. And then they get to click My Student Loves This. It's an opportunity to review lesson words they've already learned in the previous lessons in the unit. And we can practice our full sentences. And I have a student that has to click this. It's random. There is no way to guarantee you get all the pictures. However, I have a student who thinks that he has to click this button until he gets every single picture on the TV screen. So sometimes we do a lot of clicking. So you go into that. This is another game. So you're looking for the words, and that does tell you down here for teachers where they are. They're in each layer of the grass. So there's one at the bottom, one here, and then one in the next layer. And when you click on the card, it goes away. So this one has some hidden words, which is sort of fun. And then we have some interactive, so picking and choosing, which is the socks. So we are really reinforcing and driving home those vocabulary words. And even at the pre-A1 level, because there is an expectation for some writing and spelling on the Cambridge exams, there is still spelling. And so the vocabulary words, if it's a harder vocabulary word, they may not be doing all of the letters yet, but they can work on beginning and ending sounds with shoes, for instance, or and get the word and get the letters in the right spot. It also gets them looking at the words and becoming more familiar with the words and the letters and beginning to put that connection together that words are made up of letters and letter sounds. We then have,
and I see on the right side, there's little tabs on the right-hand side too.
There is tabs on the right-hand side. So we can jump ahead if we wanted to go to the reading section, or if we want to go to the listening slide, so we can listen. Or maybe we're like, you know what, I don't have time. I'm not doing phonics today. I can jump. I can jump ahead to the goodbye section, so I can sort of go wherever I want. And
which is nice. Like a lot of times I'll have students that go through lessons rather quickly, or they just need a review, and I don't need to do the warm up and the goodbye song with them because, you know, they have an hour class, so I'm doing 2 lessons at a time with them, or they had a hard time with something, so I'm just coming back and I'm reviewing something. This makes it really nice.
Yes. And so there's lots and lots of built-in flexibility. Maybe we get a star.
So cute.
Because we did a great job. We're reading and saying our sentences. And this is the one that my students really like. So if you're teaching in a co-browser like Koala Go, you can dress the dude. They think it's great that it's the first time they see it that he's naked. They have a great kick out of this. And so you can have a yellow t-shirt or a black t-shirt. He's wearing his green shorts today. He's putting on his blue socks and his red sneak shoes. So you can get them all dressed, and you can have them practice their sentences as they're getting him dressed. So
it's like a paper doll.
It's like a paper doll. Clothing unit has paper dolls. Yeah. So, and in a couple of the lessons, it changes from a boy to a girl. But it just, I've switched it back and forth. So the girls also have a naked girl or a naked boy, but you know, the boys like that one a lot. And the girls, they like to drag and play and you know, and they do it. I put on my t-shirt, I put on my socks, I put on, so lots and lots of sentence practice. And then you know, again, talking about the pictures and what, you know, what you're wearing depending on your student. They've already learned colors at this point. So I wear a shirt, I wear pants, I wear shoes, or you might have, I wear shirt, pants and shoes, or you might be adding colors. Like I wear a gray shirt, blue pants, and blue shoes. So depending on the level of your student, lots of opportunities for extension and expansion. And then a story, and it is pretty amazing actually that the students get, my students, pre-A1 students, are able to read independently and started literally from zero. And so they see a lot of these words over and over again about getting dressed. There is a listening activity built in, and this is similar to Cambridge English. So we have to listen and find out what she's wearing and then choose our words. And some of these have pictures and some of these have words depending on the student level. And then this is one of the phonics screens. So this requires teacher teaching, but you can start with just 2-letter sounds, right? Like I'm going to spell at, and sound that out. But if your student is good at that, then let's spell at. And now let's change set to net, and net to pet, and pet to peg. So the students, you can
keep going. You can keep going. I'm going to be right back. I have chaos that I have to.
And so this slide is, it can be as short or as long as you want, but it really is fundamental to helping students encode and decode. And so when I'm saying a word, of course, and they are spelling that word, they're encoding the word. But sometimes I get them just to make their own word, and they drag up some letters up here. And it doesn't have to be a real word. Like obviously this is not a real word. But then I have them read what they've made. And this is the decoding part. So ped. So this slide is super versatile. And there, depending on the lesson, there are some additional phonics activities. This one, I think, just happens to have that one. And then we have our goodbye song and, of course, goodbye, Jillian. And then we have a feedback. So I can say,
I came back just in time for my feedback. How'd I do?
You've got 5 stars automatically in all of mine. It's quick. I just click. Then I am sort of cheating because I only have like 5 minutes between my classes. So I'm just going to click this little yellow button up here at the top, come down and copy and paste it in. And I'm going to change this because I don't want to say the student. So Jillian practiced. And Jillian is getting better. And Jillian. All right.
Wait, so your curriculum has feedback already included into it?
Yeah, you just click the button.
That's awesome.
And change a couple words, tailor it to how you want it. But yes, it's already there. And
I love it.
These, you'll notice over here, it says Jillian is learning new words. Jillian listens carefully. So it takes the name from the beginning. That's why it's important that you put your name in. It also will automatically update the date of your lesson, so you don't have to do that. And then just before you leave, you grab your little snipping tool, you take a quick screenshot, and you send it to the parents. And you're like,
what happens if you give one of them like 1 star?
Oh, you can do that. I've already selected all of my stars. Can I go undo that? Good question. You can do that. So this is the generic sort of thing, but you can choose however many stars you want. But if you choose, it will automatically fill in the rest of them for you. So you don't have to spend all that time clicking. You just choose what you want. So I'm like, oh no, Jillian gets 5 stars. Oh, gets 5 stars.
Okay, that's awesome.
So yeah, so super quick and easy, takes literally seconds because it's already done and ready for you. And you just change the feedback how you want it. I usually
So one of the things that I liked, and you don't have to show it, you could just talk about it if you want to, but one of the things that I liked from some of the curriculums is the fact that there are trial lessons. So is there a trial lesson with Florentis?
So yeah, we have, and it's available free. So if you go to courses, you can sign up for the free. I'm already in it. That's why it's being wonky. But you can sign up for the free placement assessment and the free sample pack. You can get both of them. And there's also, so there's the assessment and there's also a assessment, and there's a template as well so that you can do your learning plan template and provide feedback to parents.
Okay, so the sample pack and the
Placement
assessment are two different things.
Yep.
Okay, I'm putting both of the links in the comments right now. So if anybody wants to grab either of those, they're free. And like I said, like I've said this before, I apologize. It's summer break. It's the beginning of summer break, and it's been raining for like 2 days now. So they're a little lots of background noise right now. But I've talked about this before. If there's something free, grab it. Grab the free things, because you never know what you're going to like and what you're not going to like. Instead of investing in something and just going to something, go and try and see what they've got first. So what is this that we're looking at?
This is level 4. So I just jumped ahead, way ahead to level 4, just to show a little bit of the difference. So again, you'll still see we've got the 5 stars up at the top. The menu has changed a little bit in that your information is more over here instead of jumping through. And so we have a warm up. We've got a lot more speaking involved. So we can click on the definitions. We've got some questions here. Someone I know the other day, they literally just used the first part of this because they wanted a really hobbies focused speaking lesson. And there's questions along with each of them. So you can flip through the various words. And then there is a activity. I use this one. Actually, I taught this one this morning. And we were in Qualigo. So the student was able to drag and to put their words in here. If they can't drag and you're using something like Voove, just have them draw lines. It's super easy. And then you can drag the words for them, or you can have them read the sentence with the word and you can drag the words. When it's all done, if you put them in the right spots, there is built-in feedback. And so they get a little bit of feedback just for completing that. And there's another one with the words. Then we get into adverbs of frequency, so you can have those conversations. And then practicing with adverbs of frequency, similar idea. So you can see it's a lot higher level, right? We also have a conversation here about the picture. And then this is writing. So write 3 sentences about what you do in your free time. If you're using a co-browser, they can write in here. If you're not, they could write on the screen. They could say it and you can type it, but you can type your stuff in here. Okay. And
I love how it doesn't look like childish, but it also doesn't look boring, because a lot of the upper level things that I've seen for different companies, it's not like they go all out for like the little kids, and then they either keep that and go all out for like the bigger kids, but it's like kind of baby-ish looking, or it's just kind of like a blank screen with the words on it. Like, it's not like, this is still interesting to look at. It's not, it's pretty. It looks pretty too.
You'll also notice that there is over here. So if they're struggling, there's a sample answer. And you can actually do is you could copy it. And then you could change it so that you very, very quickly on the fly, right? throw some blanks in for the student and have them write that way. So it's easy to scaffold as well. If you want to use the sample answer, or maybe you just read the sample answer together and then they write their own. So that is one of the writing tasks. This is listening. So again, there's listening activities, and what you'll notice if you listen to this is that all three of these things are mentioned. You have to listen carefully because they want to know what the boy usually does. And so he usually, the answer on this one actually, because I taught it this morning, was he usually chats online with his cousin. But if his cousin is not available, he watches cartoons. And his grandmother taught him to knit, but he doesn't really like it. So you're going to hear all three of the things, and you need to pay attention to what he usually does. So there's a couple of listening questions. This one is an every weekend one. And again, they're all mentioned, same thing. And then we have a reading activity where you get to pick, you're reading the sign this time and getting information off of the sign. And then a longer reading piece with questions. And maybe I don't remember what was on that. Well, I could go back, or I can click the button. And here is the article that I was reading. So we can go and we can look for the answer in it, and then we can choose the correct answer. So it's super easy to work on those, to say, oh, well, who was it that you like to chat with after we read it? And they can go and they can find the answer in the reading. And I think there's 3 questions. There's another writing. So this lesson, you may skip it. It's completely up to you. You have the ability to jump around. You may decide to do one or both. You may give this as homework. And then there is some pure speaking activities with some extra questions and a sample speaking task. And then we get a goodbye. We get our feedback. And because I'm in my same browser, I have to take out my old Jillian. And I didn't change or do anything. When you're in Qualigo, it doesn't actually appear. So this one, again, you'll notice it has some feedback. And I don't want to say your child. I would change it. And we're ready to go. And I might put an enter in there just because I like it. So that, and I can click. But the other thing you'll notice is that these have changed. So now they're more appropriate for the level. So now we're looking at writing and reading and listening and vocabulary use, and we're not looking at phonics anymore. So that
I love this.
A lesson level 4. And then there's stuff in between, but they're all, they're all super visual. They have the same look and feel. They are, they're fun. My students enjoy them. The teachers who are using them enjoy them. And hopefully everyone else will enjoy them too. You'll notice we've got lots of topics.
What do you do with that feedback form?
I just take a screenshot of it and send it to parents in WeChat.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just send it. So, and then they have it. And then some parents don't care, but it makes you look more professional. It makes you look like you're communicating routinely. If you're not someone who regularly does feedback, all of a sudden it's like, oh, wow, I'm getting feedback. This is great. On the last lesson of a unit, you will find, that's the one I'm working on, you will also find a certificate. So if I have to fill in the name, because if I don't, we will have a problem here. Oh, I need to fix that. This one, you'll also notice this is level 2. They've already learned some weather words. So now all of a sudden, instead of just how are you, they get how are you and how's the weather, which is nice. I'm just going to show everyone the certificate, which is at the end. This one is, you can see just from the screenshots here, you can see you get, there's still lots and lots of visual activities. There's reading, there's talking, and you still have your tic-tac-toe game. And I didn't put a certificate in it. I will put a certificate in it after class, but I know there's one in zoo because I gave it to my student. So these are the sort of thing, I have 310 lessons as of today. However, we're still adding. So we add lessons every single week. It is still what I would deem a startup. We are getting there, we're building, and open to oodles of feedback, open to whatever people want to share. This is your certificate. I do the same thing. I screenshot it and send it to the parents. And
I love it.
The students, when I started sending these, because I wasn't sending certificates, when I started sending these, the students were super excited and the parents were excited. And then it does have your name on it. Some of the parents might share it. So then they're like, oh, where did you do that? Where did you get that? And then you also, we are adding things like flashcards and downloadables and that sort of thing. So this one already has flashcards available. So we have, and they are downloadable. You can send these to your parents and your students. And so this is the zoo unit. It's a level 2 zoo, and we've got it's basically animal words in this one. So that's downloadable and available. This one also, if I just jump back and let's see what's in here. I know there'll be different interactions. So there's different games and interactions in them. So there is, I saw what I wanted. Where is that monster? This guy.
Right there.
This guy is fun. So you can read your words and feed the monster. And so this one is fun. And the words disappear in his mouth. If you put them on his feet, he won't eat them. He doesn't eat from his feet. If you put them on his eyes, he doesn't eat them. So, you can put them in his hand and you can read them first, and then you have to put them in his mouth to make them eat. Like this one. And again, sometimes they're quick and they haven't read them all. And so we come back and it resets and you can feed the monster all over again for extra practice. So this one is fun. There's quite a few different things. I have a mining one. I have some monster ones. I have screens with 2 monsters where you're feeding based on sounds to the correct monster. There is, there's lots of variety. On some of the screens, you'll see some teacher tips down at the bottom. They tend to be sort of grayed out so that they're not super obvious, but if you go down there, you can find them. And they're not on all of the screens, but they are on some screens to give you a hint. Some of the screens, you just don't need it. It's pretty self-explanatory what you would do. This one also has a matching game. And so I have to find my words. That's obviously not the right one. A hippo and a bear, a zebra, a hippo. There, I have a pair. And so you can find your words. Oops, it was this one. And the words disappear. So this one's fun. Kids like this too. It's also a good way to know whether they actually are reading, because all of a sudden it's like, oh, that says elephant. And I don't know if I found my elephant. There's my elephant. And so you can, when they're finding the pairs, you can check with them to make sure that they are reading.
So there are a lot of curriculum choices out there. Why would someone choose Florentis?
So I'm biased because it's mine. So I think it's the best. That's a simple answer. But ultimately, the better answer is that it is super interactive. It is very visually interesting for the students and engaging. And it is very carefully designed to support learning. So I have strong background in education and lots of certifications and degrees and that sort of thing. But ultimately it's tested, right? So I've tested it. I know the things work, and I've really adapted what I've used over the years to provide things that are easy to use and are effective. And you're going to see your students improving when you're using things like encoding and decoding blocks right from the beginning. You're going to see them improving when they are figuring out that words have letters, and each of those letters make up words, and they can read them. And you're going to, because we've kept some of the units, well, we've kept the units only as long as they need to be. And in some cases, it's like, oh yeah, but there's lots more words that you could use. So if you look at level 1, there is a weather unit. There's a weather unit in level 1, but it's the basic. It's raining, it's cloudy, it's snowy. And then when you get into level 2, there's another weather unit, but it's on weather forecasts. And now it's going to introduce simple future tense like, it will rain tomorrow, it will snow tomorrow, but also introduce some new words like storm and thunder. So it's an opportunity to really reinforce the words that they learned in the first units and continue to see that repetition and that stuff coming back so that you're not learning and forgetting. So that makes a big difference as well. And it's pretty comprehensive, right? So we've got not only general English, but we also have, and I didn't even pull any of those up, we have the speaking lessons. So you can jump into a speaking lesson. So if we go into, where's my food one? I think it's here. Yeah, okay. If we go into the speaking lessons, and these will pair well, right? So if you're looking for something to go with one of the core units, sometimes there are recommendations. This one is, and some of these I've had for a long time, so they're not yet in Genially, but they're speaking, and they certainly work and guide you, and they're still very visual. And this one, McDonald's, right? We get into fast food and tacos, which are also popular. So there's lots of questions. What's your favorite fast food? How do we place an order? And then we actually practice placing, where are we talking about that? Talking about drive-throughs. This lesson is super popular. The kids really like it. And then we have
go back a couple slides. Go back. Keep going. Oh, stop. No, keep going. Stop. Oh, okay. No, that's okay. I wanted to read something. Oh. That's okay.
Is it a Canadian American thing?
I thought it was at first. I didn't realize it said there are no waiters. I thought that it was saying that there are no like something at the fast food restaurant. I thought it was talking about the touch screens that you work on.
Yeah.
Because I had that conversation with somebody in a different country. Maybe it was Katie. I'm not sure. Somebody in a different country though. I think they're in the UK was saying that they don't have, or no, maybe it was a student actually. It may have been in China that they don't have counters anymore that you order at. So I was just curious what you put there.
Yeah. And so you can go through, then we can put toppings on our burger. We learn toppings, and then, you order your hamburger. So this one is fun. It's, upsize, right? And what upsizing is, and combos. So, certainly lots and lots of opportunity for speaking here with this. Oh,
Lacey said the speaking lessons are great. And actually, I think that she's seen them firsthand, not just these,
yes,
right?
she has. Yeah. So Lacey is the teacher actually that is using the speaking lessons for her summer speaking camp. And
okay.
Yeah. And so she's been through lots of them and is certainly using speaking lessons. But there's lots of options. And as I said, if you are looking for specific speaking lessons, because I teach speaking, I need lessons and need ideas, by all means, send me a note, right? And I will happily make another speaking lesson. So this is weather, right? So there's level 1 weather, right? And then there's what's the weather, summer fun, winter fun. So if you've done clothing in level 1 and weather, then you may want to jump in and do summer fun, for instance, which highlights weather and clothing and mixes those things up, and would introduce a few new words. So you've got some options in terms of sort of making it work for you and the needs of your student. And if your student needs more speaking practice, then adding some of the speaking lessons in with your core lessons is certainly ideal. And then there's also writing lessons. And so the writing lessons, there are 10 different lessons available and more coming. And the lessons have games and they have activities in them. They are lots of fun. And we still have some of the familiar slides with the how are you, that sort of thing. They will have some songs and then a warm-up activity where you're brainstorming words. And they still, you'll notice they have the built-in stars. One of my students has figured out that when he wants, he just gives himself a star. It's not really in how it's intended to be used, but he decides that he wants a star, so he gives himself one.
I get a star. That's funny.
So yes, he does give himself stars sometimes. And
That's funny. You said that it's like a startup or whatever, but I want to make it really clear to everybody because I'm going to disagree with her on this. This is not the first curriculum company that Megan has made curriculum for. This is not the first time that she has worked with teachers or anything. And a lot of you, and I won't talk about the other company because figure that on your own if you want to know it. But this is not the very first time that Megan has done this. It's not like she's just like, oh, I'm using this curriculum. This is curriculum. This is something that has been her labor of love for a very, very, very long time. First of all. Second of all, she has enough in there for you to go and teach for months and months and months without running out of anything. This is not a startup. I'm going to disagree with you on this. This is a full curriculum that you can use. Yes, there are going to be more that are coming. But and yes, it is. I mean, it is a new company, so it is a startup in that way. But this is not just some new thing. This is something you guys all know Megan. Like most of you have known her from other projects that she's worked on. This is just basically her own. Lacey wants to know if the writing is intended for higher level students or beginners.
These are beginner writing lessons. So these work well with level 1 and level 2. And are designed for, really new writers. And so, you have the pullouts. This one teaches the say the words, count the words, draw the lines, write, and then read it. So it's very much focused around sentences in this particular set of lessons. And if they write more than one sentence, great. If they only write one sentence, that's cool. But, students who are beginners can still write sentences like, this is my family. And with the first screen at the beginning, where you're brainstorming words together, this one, you can have the student write down the words and have a word bank, or you can write them in the chat so that they can go back and look at them and they know how to spell them. And it's a great opportunity to reinforce the skills. And when students can write, it improves their grammar, it improves their speaking, it improves their reading, it improves everything. And so, building in a writing lesson every once in a while to your teaching is not a bad thing. And even in terms of, looking at this, it's a who and it's a person and a what. Mom cooks, right? And we have that period at the end. So these are not, and then we make it longer. What does mom cook? Mom cooks dinner. So it's not, these are definitely beginner writing lessons. And I know another teacher that Wendy had used all of these lessons through with her students. And she would do a unit and then she would do a writing lesson. She'd do a unit and then she'd do a writing lesson. And the student really enjoyed the writing lessons and she saw lots of improvement. And the nice thing is that you don't have to teach them all together. You could, if you wanted to do like a summer writing camp. This is summer. Chinese students are on vacation. Native students are on vacation. Everyone's on vacation, except maybe if you live in Kenya, then you're probably not on vacation. But you know, it's summer and it's vacation time, so it's a great time to do like a writing camp. You could do a 5-day writing camp or a 4-week writing camp where it's once a week and you have a small group class. And so the writing lessons are great for that. They can be supplemental, or they can be in addition to your regular stuff, or they can be standalone. You can do them however you want to do them. And there will be more writing lessons coming. Right now we have this one, but there will be more. And at the end, there's sort of a, some sort of let's play. There's like one of the units has a roll a sentence one. This one has a clicking one. Where we're going to click, and we need to make a sentence about dad, right? So, dad, I don't remember what this theme was. Dad, I don't know what we're doing. Family. Oh, dad is tall, right? Dad has brown hair. Dad, dad helps me. Whatever you want. So this one they can click, including.
He's in the shed.
And so they can write about the cat as well. So, this one you could be my mom and I. So certainly, certainly the writing lessons are for everyone for sure to use with their students. So the writing is lots of fun. And
I have a pig.
So we've got,
in case you wonder,
we've got 3 levels of speaking, 6 levels of core, and then I don't see the writing lessons on my dashboard. I'll look for you, Lacey. If you're not, I can assign them to you because you should have them because you have everything. So I can fix that up for you in a couple of seconds after the live. You have a pig. Oh dear. That's not good. So, so this is Florentis Learning. Oh, I want to show my games. So I'm going to show a couple. There's games, and if you sign up, you can also access these. So this one is a word search. It's fun. So there are some categories already, but we can also put our own words in, and it will make your puzzle on the fly. So if I grow my animal puzzle, here are my words. Oh, there's bear right there. You find them and you cross them off. So if you need something extra for class, there's lion, there's snake. To fill time, or maybe you want to review words, you can do that as well. So this is one of the games you have access to. There is a spelling game as well, where you can put in your spelling words. And let's say we have boat and coat and oat, and that's fine. And we're going to plant.
Goat.
And we're going to have 1.
How rude.
Oh, it wants us to have 10. I should edit that. Tote, wrote, float, moat, coats, and boats. And I'm going to plant my seeds. So again, this is free. It's here. It's on here. You have to have an account. So sign up for the free plan or for an actual plan. If you can listen, you hear the word, and then you have to type it. And you get it correct, it goes to the next word. So that's there. So I'm sort of working on a few different things in here. This one is a spelling one as well. Come on, load. And basically it's a bunch of bugs. And you can use one that's already there, or you can figure out your own. And you just drag. What am I in? I'm in colors. Aww. Drag the bugs to spell a word, and if you get it correct, you get points. So
Little book.
Spelling bugs, and there is a sorting one. So you can say, oh, I want to sort pets versus wild animals. So elephant, zebra, and a lot of these are pre-made, and you have the option of making your own as well. So great way to review some vocab. And if you have other set requests, you can also email me at hello@Florentis Learning, and I will add them to the Growing Your Words code so that they're there for you and they're there for other teachers. And the Growing Your Words also lets you sort. So I want B1 words only. Maybe I want to sort now formal and informal language, or I want to sort nouns and verbs. So I've got different levels of activities in here, and you can look at them all, or you can sort through and pick ones that you want.
There's so much in here.
Yeah, so these are my fun like coding side projects that I've been coding, but the lots of things. Story tree, so if you're looking for ideas. Maybe I want a B1 prompt, and I can get a random prompt.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. This is really good for writing classes.
Oh,
I love this.
The same one. I'm going to go to B2. The journal, dated 100 years ago, described a world that was technologically advanced, but. So you can see that they certainly there are higher level prompts here, and we can speak or write. So if you speak with these, it does record it, and you can then play it back. So it's a great way to help students improve their speaking, because then they can listen to what they said.
I love it.
So yeah, so there's lots of stuff in here. We'd certainly encourage people to check out the free package or enroll. In terms of pricing, we do have special pricing on right now, and that is for founding members. So if you check out, you can get monthly subscriptions for only $9.99, or you can get a lifetime membership for the classroom, complete classroom curriculum as well. So you'll get everything that's there now, plus everything that comes in the future. And if you don't want to be in subscriptions and you just want to have the curriculum that you use, that certainly is an option. And it is Canada Day for any Canadians like myself who are watching. And so if you are Canadian and you want a lifetime membership, I do take Canadian dollars at par for Canadians for the lifetime membership.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Thank you so much for coming on. I would love to sit here and talk more. If anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them in here, and Megan will see them. I'll make sure she sees them. I'm going to have to wrap this up though, because I have to go chase pigs.
You have to go find your pigs.
Well, I'm sure that he's right by the barn, but animals leaving is not my most fun thing of but this is something that I think is one of the best curriculums that are out there available for online teachers, and I really think that everybody should stop it. I really think that everybody should be going and at least getting the free one and checking it out. If you have any questions, Lacey's laughing. She's laughing. She's laughing at me chasing pigs. It's my least favorite thing to get out because they don't listen to you and they're smart. I always say pigs are scary because they're bigger than me, they're smarter than me, and they can eat people. All right. I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for coming on, Megan.
No.
What do you mean no?
Yep.
Hi, Bob.